You just go weekend to weekend, really, and you know you're going to play a good team, and it's going into Sunday. You're either down 2-0 or 1-1, or you're up 2-0, and we haven't been in this position in quite a while. I mean, we haven't won a series in the last 4 weeks, so it's been pretty frustrating. So we don't have much wiggle room, that's for sure, and so there's quite a bit of baseball left in the pack. We just got to make sure that we show up every game.
With the way that there's so many teams that are capable of beating each other, the parity of the league, what is the characteristic or trait that a team has to have to kind of push itself to the top of the rankings? Like just in general, what kind of are all you guys looking for?
You got to pitch, you got to throw strikes, you got to play defense, you got to be offensive. You got to be able to beat really good pitchers. I mean, tonight Irvin is one of the best pitchers in the West for sure. Crook obviously struggled last night, but he's very good. So you got to beat quality pitchers, and then hopefully you get into that bullpen and you get something done. But I think it's pitching and defense really that shows up. Stanford has played really good defense majority of the season. Cal has hit majority of the season. They clearly one of the more dangerous teams, in the country. Washington has played well. I mean, they were 9-6 going into this weekend. So it just seems like it's really bogged down, and everybody's still got life, really. I mean, if you look at it, there's no one really out of it, and Oregon State goes into Washington State last weekend and gets beat, and Oregon State is clearly one of the best teams in the country, and it's just it's a funny game right now, and it just seems that, but it comes back down to basics really, and like I said, I mean, we know what it looks like and what it feels like. It's just we haven't done much of it this year, so it's something where the last 3 games, I guess you could say, there's signs of us playing better, and there's signs of competitive baseball.
What are those things that are kind of standing out that you guys are doing well when you're winning versus when you may not be playing well?
Well, like I said, I mean it's quality baseball. It's winning pitches, winning innings, taking a punch. They scored 2, and then we scored 1. I mean, it's not winning the inning, but that went from a 3-2 to a 4-2. And when you're playing well, you're pounding the strike zone. You're playing good 9-on-1 defense, and then offensively, I think we did a pretty good job against Cole of making it really work, because Cole can really get on a run and could dominate you, and I don't think he dominated us like the way that he has in the past, and you just got to grind. I mean, our catcher's doing an outstanding job. Daniel, who came out of the bullpen basically all season last year, and he's just competitive. So I think all the coaches know what it looks like. It's just a matter of having your team go out there and playing that the way that you really practice and what you preach.
One of the changes that you made recently is putting Daniel Amaral in that leadoff spot tonight. He was 1 for 1, but had 2 or 0 for 1, but had 2 walks. How much of a difference maker does he, with his speed, if he can get on base at the top of that lineup in front of Falia and Persico, guys that have been consistent hitters for you?
Well, he's right-handed. Our whole outfield is pretty much left-handed, and they throw out 3 left-handers. Peterson again tomorrow, so it's just an opportunity to really have a different look. And Daniel got 2 hits against Pepperdine, leading off, and we know he's going to be a really good player. I mean, he can really run. We think he can hit. He can certainly defend. It's just that we haven't had much room there really, and some guys have had some tough years, but Brett Stevens has been a big part of our team and our program, and so it's kind of more matchups really, and but I think Daniel's done a good job of taking advantage of opportunity, and that's all you can do as a player.
Tonight, Luke had 4 hits. Kind of him and Filio kind of carried the middle of the lineup. You get those contributions. You kind of expect those 2 guys to help you out. One guy that you expected to have big contributions from this year was Grant Dyer, and he's been kind of up and down this season. Probably his best start though this season tonight. 7 innings, I think 2 hits, no runs. What was kind of working for him? Maybe what was a little bit different than maybe.
Well, he really started off fairly well in the season. Against North Carolina, and then he threw the ball really good against Cal Poly for two innings, and then he had that oblique, and it really set him back. And we were patient. He took a couple weeks off, and he's come back and really hasn't thrown the ball the way that he's capable of throwing it. And his velocity's down. The curveball seems to be had a little more velocity to it, a little more bite, up to 82. The fastball had a little more life tonight. He looked healthier than he has in the last couple of weeks. And I did throw a complete game at Arizona, so that's very difficult to do. But it kind of gets blended in the statistics because his strikeouts are pretty good, his walks are pretty good, the hits are a little high, and we haven't played great defense, and so that's a recipe for runs. And tonight we did a good job of getting the leadoff hitter out in each inning, and not making mistakes defensively, and so hopefully he can build off this, and we can see the Dyer that we know, who's very capable of doing what he did tonight.